Well, hello there. I have a lot of updates. It is October 23rd. Man, the last life update I gave you about like my health stuff was my anaphylactic reaction at the infusion center. Then I talked about live streaming stuff. Then I talked about my frustrations with the doctor. But through all of that, there was a lot of things going on, and I have an update that I'm sitting in currently. So let's start with the anaphylaxis. It didn't really stop. So we had the anaphylaxis. Let me just say, what I was told that it was an anaphylactoid reaction was actually what I found out from my complex care doctor. It was an anaphylactoid reaction. I thought it was anaphylactoid, found out it was anaphylaxis. And now I found out it was very mishandled, and the nurses, everybody were there because people don't understand mast cell activation syndrome, and they understand allergies. They don't understand mast cell activation syndrome and protocols. And so they kept being like, we're gonna not give you your glucagon because I'm on a beta blocker. I cannot take EpiPen, so I take a glucagon pen, which is actually like, it's actually like for diabetics, so it boosts up your sugar a little bit. And so people are scared to give that because they're scared it's going to give you like a really high sugar number, but it only does it for a really short amount of time, and then you come down. Anyway, I was in a clinic in like a cancer infusion center. Anyway, they should have done it immediately with the Benadryl. They should have just given me the shot when everything started. That didn't happen. It also didn't happen because they didn't know how to use the pen. You can hear about that in vlog number 22. All about that reaction is in there. What I learned from speaking with my doctor now, which I should have spoke to my doctor that day, immediately after that happened, because I should have gone to the hospital that day. I should have been admitted to the hospital immediately after that happened. Because that didn't happen, I have been in hell for a solid week. Okay, a little bit over a week at this point. Yeah, it's been over a week now. From that, I have learned a lot about mast cell. Came home and have felt completely crummy. Once you go into anaphylaxis with mast cell, you sort of stay on this level of like, my body's all a bit of a flare-up. So I went into just mast cell flare-up mode. And I've been stuck in this mode of reactive. My mast cells were mad. And as I talked about in a different video, I know why I reacted. It's because I had an infusion, then we decided to have an upper endoscopy, and then we decided to have an infusion. So we poked the bear so much that my mast cells were like, nope, we're done. You cannot do that. As a mast cell person, you cannot decide to have a procedure. Even if it's just like, just infusions. It's not just infusions. Mast cell bodies cannot handle. Our bodies are very, very sensitive. We cannot handle poking and prodding. No. If you're gonna have an infusion, you have to separate them out very far. So just like, let's just throw an upper endoscopy in the middle between there. No. That should have been like thrown out a month later. That's why the infusions were separated so far. Yeah. So here's what happened after the first anaphylaxis. I went home. Felt like crap. Started noticing that everything I was eating, even my regular foods, started knocking them out. I was like, oh, I'm reacting to this. Then I decided to try some raw fish. That was a stupid idea. Reacted to that. I knew that was a risk. That was something we wanted to try, but it was the worst time to try it. Reacted to that a lot. That was an anaphylactoid reaction. It wasn't big, like anaphylaxis, but we were just right on the border. Right on the border. Probably should have broken out the pen. We didn't. Here's the reason why we don't break out my injection. We're scared of the injection. Me and my mother both have some trauma of having the 911 call. ERs don't know what to do with mast cell people. They have judgments about us. They tell us it's in our head. They tell us it's anxiety. They tell us we're faking it. They tell us just to go home. They don't know what to do with us. Okay, fine and dandy. Fine, tell us those things, whatever. But the problem is those things go in your record. Once those things go in your record and you try to go get help afterwards, it becomes very difficult when you have legitimate health problems. So you spend a lot of money going in an ambulance to go somewhere for someone to be like, we don't know what to do with you, or it's anxiety and it's all in your head. It's like, nope, I'm having a reaction. You don't understand it when the guy goes, but you don't have any hives. You don't need to have hives to have anaphylaxis. This is not how it works. Thank you, sir. Let me educate you. So then I learned that my biggest reaction yet to date is a shiitake mushroom, and I went full anaphylaxis. Should have used the pen again. Yet again, I did not do it. This one, I honestly regret that we didn't do it. I was laying there knowing we should have done it. My mom's a nurse. Part of this, I think, is part of her nursing going, but you don't have hives. Part of it is you're not presenting like a normal allergy person. So part of this is we have to get past the preconceived notion of what anaphylaxis looks like for other people. My anaphylaxis does not look like other anaphylaxis. But when I go into anaphylaxis, we know it. I ate it. I literally, and when I was eating it, my brain was telling me to stop. Like, my brain was telling me to stop, but I could not stop shoving the mushrooms in my face because they were so good. Like, I was literally licking them off the plate, but something in my head was telling me stop. Like, my brain knew this was not good, but they were so good because I have not eaten these, and I don't remember the last time I've eaten these. It was something new, it was something fun, something different, the crunch, the flavor, yes, so good. It was just so delicious, the butter, it was like, it was so good, something so new. It was so amazing to have this flavor, and I could feel it happening. I literally licked the plate. I could feel the burn in my mouth. I was like, oh, it's got to be pepper. It has to be pepper. It's just spicy. My mom doesn't put spice in my food because I can't handle it. We don't put spices in my food because of everything. So I knew there was something going wrong. But my inhibition to finally eat something that tasted so good and something new. I had no impulse control because it was just like something fun, something new, food. And I feel like any mass seller who's watching this right now can identify to this moment of like, something I can eat and it's actually going down and I'm hungry and it doesn't hurt and yes, food. Like, I had a moment, I was hungry, it didn't hurt, and it was good, and it was nummy, and it was just, give me. It was like finally eating candy again. Like, I sort of want to cry thinking about it now because it was, yep, nope, feel the tears coming. Yeah, it's upsetting. because like it tasted so good, and I thought I had a moment of like, yeah, we found a food that was so good and I loved it. I'm gonna get off the rant of this to tell you what happened now. My face started getting itchy. My lips felt puffy. And my first thing that's like the big obvious reaction is my speech goes. I think I posted a video before on infusion day, maybe. I do have an awareness video I can post though of what happens. My speech drops. I sound like I'm having a stroke. Dr. Lawrence Afrin is a huge MCAS person. He understands it. He is like world renowned. Just did a live speech on Facebook talking that MCAS is huge neurological components, and it affects your neurologically affects things. Mast cells are everywhere in your body, every organ system. There are 200 different mediators, and they can be released in sub-seconds, which means they're in your brain, in your skin, in your stomach, in your mouth, in your cheeks, in your eyes, in your legs. And so if they're in your brain, that means neurological things can happen. Hence seizures, hence speech slurring. That's why when I was having my seizures last year, the doctors didn't understand, and this is why I'm fighting with neurologists and neuroimmunology to accept mast cell as an accepted disorder in their departments. Yet neurology does not accept mast cell as a neurological condition. But anyway, my speech went. Then my face flushed, but instead of just like having my normal red flushing, I went purple, like purple and blotchy. Tongue got tingly, thick, started to cough, and then I just tipped over on my bed. Because what comes after my mast cell? My stiff attacks. Here's where things got complicated. We normally, I don't like saying meds, but we use a rescue med as a mast cell stabilizer. We use lorazepam as a mast cell stabilizer, but it is also a great, like a muscle relaxant that we also use for stiff attacks when they're really bad. So we use it for dual purposes. So we sort of like counteract at the same time, like mast cells, muscles, boom. And we took actually 2 doses at the same time that night, but the problem was it was really hard to get it in. Because I had my stiff attack, so I was having all of these reactions. I tipped over, turned purple, my eyes were half masked, tipped over on the bed. Then I started to dry heave while my jaw was locked up. So my mom had to manage to flip me on my side while I was stiff as a board. And I'm stuck there like this, dry heaving. She takes a little basin, puts it next to my face, can't get me off the bed, can't get me near the edge of the bed. So it's like, if I'm gonna puke, hopefully you can get it through my teeth at least so I don't aspirate. Or if I do, I'm just gonna have to swallow immediately. And I don't know how that's gonna work with muscles and spasm and breathing and vomiting. I had no idea how that was gonna work. I'm just on my side. So mom's taking my ginger stick that she thinks is a roller, so she's rolling it on my nose, but it's just like, it has like holes on the top of it, so you're just supposed to inhale the sniff. But she's literally like shoving it up my nose, the ginger stick, like, sniff it, Chelsea, sniff it, make the nausea go away, which is sort of hilarious. Like, Mom, and I couldn't tell her, Mom, you're hurting my nose. Like, this isn't a roller. She's like rolling it around in my nose. And I'm just like, and I'm on my side, just like, I know it's not funny, but after the fact. Yeah, so we should have used, at this point, we should have stabbed me and called 911. 100%. Should have called 911. Looking back at that. It's hard to breathe. Got very tingly. Thick tongue. If I would have vomited, honestly, I don't know where it would have gone. I don't know. I don't know where it could have gone. This makes me very worried. I think I said it in the vlog at the anaphylaxis too. Honestly, if I am in an emergency setting and they need to give me a tube to breathe, I will automatically end up with a trach. Because my jaw locks up every time. Unless they give me something real heavy, real fast to like undo this and it works magically. I don't know what they're gonna do. Future self, just be prepared. I don't like this. I do not like this foresight or whatever, future outlook, whatever it's called. I do not like what I'm seeing. I don't know how to stop it. Like, obviously I'm not going to eat it, but obviously reactions can get worse. So that was the shiitake mushroom. It did get better once the medications hit in, and once the medications hit in, because we did take a double dose, I ended up just sort of staring at the ceiling for a bit because it was a heavy dose. And then I was just real itchy. And I looked at Mom. I just remember being like, we probably should have called 911. And then I wondered if Mom felt guilty about feeding me. I always wonder if she does, like, feels bad every time I react. Like, she's the one that feeds me, and then I react, and it's like, as a mother, does she feel guilty when she feeds me and I react to these foods? Like, it's not her fault I have these things, but it's like she birthed me. The other day, she said, like, what monsters did I create? Like, is this my fault? Like, what did I do wrong? It felt really bad. You know? I don't think it's her fault. I don't think it's my fault. I think it's just cards. The cards you're dealt. Life. Environment. You know? Anyway, from the shiitake mushrooms, we said we need to go to just neutral. Tried to go neutral, and it just, stomach just didn't get any happier. Finally called my doctor and let her know what was going on, and she goes, holy shiitake mushrooms. You have been mishandled. You should have been in the hospital. You should have been under supervision. You should have been under nutritional supervision. Like, this all should have been handled better. I apologize, this hasn't been handled better. I wish you would have contacted me sooner. Like, does your doctor know about this? Has he checked in with you? Like, the doctor who was doing the infusions? Like, whoa. So now, to get me out of this mast cell mess up, we have to start a high dose of steroids. Ugh. I do not do well on steroids. I have ignored steroids. Tried to ignore steroids for all of this chronic illness stuff. They've tried to offer steroids, and I have said no, but at this point I can't say no to them because we have to get out of the flare. I will be on 40 milligrams of steroids for the next 10 days, then 30 milligrams for the next 15 days, then 20 milligrams for the next days, then the 10 milligrams for days, and taper our way down. Sadly, you get into this thing where you feel great during this thing, but once you get off, all of a sudden you get like this hunch of reality of like, blah, everything hurts again. So currently I'm in the wave of like, I feel great, I feel good. Sort of, like everything's still, I still feel chronically ill, but like I'm in a bit of like this euphoric zippity-doo-dah. Also, I feel like my skin's crawling and I'm just like, ah. I don't like how steroids make me feel. Do not like it, Sam, I am. Not with migraines on eggs and hams. I'd prefer it in the dirt. Thank you very much. So then we have to counteract it in the evening with Benadryl. It's like, yeah, let's just throw on like a 18th, umpteenth histamine. Why not? Because at this point, I think I'm thinking 4 antihistamines. I don't even know at this point, honestly. I have a whole pharmaceutical company just chilling out in my drawer right now. At the beginning, when this all started, I was like, look at me. I got off all my heavy medications. I'm doing so good. I'm trying to go all natural with this chronic illness. And then everything started tumbling out of control with chronic illness. And it's like, look at me. I'm my own pharmaceutical company. Oh, what brand do you want? Yeah. So that happened. We're working out of this flare. I got my upper endoscopy results back, and my doctor thinks I have IBS. He thinks it's possibly either correlated to my mast cell, shocker, or my gastritis and duodenitis. I might be saying that wrong. Basically, my upper intestines is sort of inflared, and my stomach lining is inflared, either due to the medications I take or it's due to my mast cell. Pretty much I think it's due to both. It's mild, but every time I eat, I'm nauseous. Every time I eat, I never even need to go to the bathroom. I think it's a combination of both because mast cells are just reacting to the food I'm eating and it's just coming out the other end. He really couldn't help on anything. The biopsies came back normal. She was like, yeah, we checked for this, and everything seems normal, except for this. And her hiatal hernia is so small, it's asymptomatic. And I was like, so why do I hiccup all the time? Why do I feel this catching? Why? He's like, meh. He's like, go through your course of steroids, and then take this other steroid that your doctor's given you for your stomach. Take this stomach medication every day, and then call me back. Also, you should try this medication for your stomach, yet it's an antidepressant and a nerve medication. Yet I take a nerve medication that's not an antidepressant. And the 2 medications that he suggested are on my no-go list because they cause seizures. So I let him know that, and I was like, sir, why are you offering an antidepressant for my tummy? Because pretty sure my tummy's not sad. Are you sad? I'm not sad. Pretty sure every doctor has tried to offer me an antidepressant for one of my organs, and I keep trying to tell them that I have happy organs. They may seem sad or upset, but my organs don't need antidepressants. Stop trying to put me on antidepressants. Honestly, offer me an antidepressant, and I'm just going to try to make you take them, sir. Don't need them. End of speech on that one. I also don't think he knew I was already on a nerve medication, so. Then he said something else that was bothersome. He's like, I really think you need to see an allergenist because you're cutting out a lot of food. And I just need you to know, like, what things you're actually reacting to. Which made it sound like I'm choosing to take the foods out versus allergies taking things out. He's like, you need to know which ones are allergies and what foods you're actually taking out. And I wanted to give him some stank eye, but he's been very helpful and very nice. This doctor was recommended from my complex doctor. But I wanted to be like, he said, so how are you reacting to these foods? And I said, like this. I said, well, you know, the red face, the itching, the flushing, the scratching, you know, the tingling lips. Or, you know, the purple face, the can't breathe, the anaphylactoid reaction. He said, well, you really should go to an allergenist to get testing. And I wanted to look at him and say, you do realize that people with MCAS can't go to an allergenist because allergenists don't understand MCAS very well? Because the prick test does not work for allergies or for MCAS. If you have mast cell activation syndrome and they offer a prick test for you, they don't know what they're doing. Por ejemplo, let me show you the tests you need. If you are going in, if you are about to go in to an allergenist and they say, let me do some prick testing to see if you have mast cell. Look at the doctor and be like, you're a prick. You don't know what you're looking for. You need these tests. I don't know if this is backwards. And you need these tests. And you need to make sure they're on ice. If they don't order those, the doctor has no clue what he's doing. Also, mast cells are not allergies. Two separate things. Allergies, mast cells. Mast cells are overreacting. They're reactive. Allergies are allergies. Mast cells, allergies. Malfunctioning mast cells, allergies. Two different things. So what he was saying did not make sense. Anyway, that was very frustrating, but I didn't call him out on his BS on that one. Then he offered me to go to a nutritionalist, and I was like, I think that sounds like a great idea, because I'm about down to 10 foods now. Potato, pasta, a couple baby foods, and some veggies. But now I can only eat the veggies when they're steamed or like cooked down very, very far. Raw veggies aren't good for people with mast cell because fiber, like, it's really hard on your stomach, so you gotta cook it. Baby food is really great for mast cell people. It's like just broken down and mushy, and that's all great. Yep, so that's that. I finally got a referral to a rheumatologist. I don't know how long these videos can be, and I'm about to hit the 30-minute marker, so I'm gonna make a second video. Yes, be good. I'll be back.